The crimson emergency lights bathed orbital station Kepler 7 in an ominous glow as klaxons shrieked through every corridor. Commander Zixter's 4 eyes widened in horror as he watched the security feeds. A Void Reaver had somehow breached containment, the most feared predator in known space. A creature that had ended entire civilizations. All personnel to emergency shelters. Zixter's voice crackled across the intercom, his translator barely keeping pace with his panicked chittering. Level 9 lockdown protocols. This is not a drill. Throughout the station, hundreds of beings from dozens of species scrambled for safety. The Void Reaver stood nearly 3 meters tall, its obsidian carapace gleaming under the emergency lights. 6 razor-sharp limbs clicked against the metal flooring, and its triple-jawed maw dripped with acidic venom that sizzled where it touched the ground. Ancient instinct drove every alien on that station to flee every alien except a dot in the botanical research wing. Isabella Martinez continued her work, carefully transplanting Terran orchids into their new hydroponic beds. The 20-8-year-old xenobotanist hummed softly to herself, completely absorbed in ensuring the delicate roots weren't damaged. Her long dark hair was tied back in a practical bun, and her coveralls were stained with soil from a dozen different worlds. "Bella, did you hear that alarm?" Leo Chen poked his head through the doorway, his tablet still in hand. The young engineer had been running diagnostics on the station's water recycling system, 3 corridors away. "Oh, probably another drill," Isabella replied without looking up. "Zixter loves his protocols." Leo frowned, checking his tablet. "Weird, it says level 9. That's..." The wall beside them exploded inward. The Void Reaver burst through in a shower of sparks and twisted metal, its sensor organs immediately locking onto the 2 humans. The creature's hunting callous sound that had haunted the nightmares of sentient species for millennia echoed through the chamber. It was a noise that bypassed rational thought and triggered pure primal terror in every being that heard it. Except humans, apparently. "Oh shit," Leo yelped, stumbling backward. His tablet clattered to the floor. Isabella finally looked up, dirt still on her gloves. She blinked at the massive predator now blocking their exit. "Well, that's new." The Reaver advanced, its limbs spreading wide in a classic attack posture. Acidic drool hissed against the floor, eating through the metal plating. Every muscle in its powerful body coiled, ready to strike. "Bella, we need to," Leo started. But his colleague was already moving, not away, toward. "Hey there, big guy," Isabella said softly, pulling off her gloves as she approached the apex predator. "You look stressed. Did those idiots lock you in a cage again?" Leo's mouth fell open. "Bella, what the hell are you doing?" The Void Reaver's head tilted, clearly confused. Prey didn't approach. Prey ran. Prey screamed. Prey died. These were fundamental truths of the universe. Isabella stopped just outside the creature's striking range, then did something that would have given Zixter a cardiac incident. She sat down cross-legged on the floor. "Yeah, you heard me. Cages are awful," she continued conversationally. "I'm actually from Earth. We had these animals called Orcs that humans kept in tiny tanks for entertainment. Terrible business. Is that what happened to you?" The Reaver lowered itself slightly, its sensor organs studying this bizarre creature intently. The human showed no fear pheromones, no panic, no prey behavior whatsoever. It was unprecedented. "Bella," Leo hissed from behind an overturned table, "that thing has killed thousands of people who tried to kill it first." "Probably," Isabella interrupted. She slowly extended her hand, palm up, "Look at those scars on its carapace. Leo, laser burns, kinetic impacts. Someone's been hunting this poor thing." The Void Reaver's massive head lowered toward her hand. Its triple jaws opened slightly, revealing rows of crystalline teeth that could shear through starship hulls. And then it did something that no xenobiologist in the galaxy would have believed possible. It nuzzled her palm. The touch was gentle, almost tentative. Isabella smiled and began to stroke the creature's head, her fingers finding the seams between its armored plates. "There we go. Not so scary, are you?" "Just lonely and scared, like anyone would be." "I'm calling Commander Zixter," Leo whispered, fumbling for his communicator. "Don't," Isabella said firmly. "They'll come in here with weapons and make everything worse." The Reaver shifted, lowering its entire body to the ground. It emitted a low, rumbling sound, not a hunting call, but something else entirely, something that might have been contentment. Isabella continued petting it, her movements confident but gentle. "You know, Leo Earth had predators too. Wolves, bears, big cats. Everyone thought they were monsters until we learned to understand them, respect them. This isn't a wolf, Bella. This is a living being that's been hurt and afraid. She looked at the Reaver's eyes, multifaceted organs that reflected the emergency lights like dark opals. Aren't you, friend? The creature's rumbling intensified. One of its massive limbs moved slowly, carefully, and rested against Isabella's side. Not aggressive, almost protective. Leo cautiously emerged from behind the table, his hands shaking. This is insane. Probably, Isabella agreed. But look at him. Really look. Leo did. Beneath the fearsome exterior, he could see what his colleague had noticed immediately. The way the creature held itself, favoring its left side. The cracks in its carapace that spoke of old wounds. The slight tremor in its limbs that suggested exhaustion, not aggression. It's hurt, Leo breathed. He's hurt, Isabella corrected. And scared, and probably just broke out because he panicked. She looked up at the Reaver. Right, buddy. The creature's rumbling became almost pearl-like. Commander Zixter's voice crackled over the intercom. Attention. The Void Reaver is in the botanical wing. All personnel. He paused. Wait, what am I seeing? On the security feed, every alien on the command deck stared in disbelief at the image of a human woman sitting calmly on the floor, scratching behind the sensory organs of the galaxy's most feared predator while it practically melted under her touch. Humans, Zixter muttered, all four eyes blinking in astonishment. Of course it would be the humans. Isabella looked directly at the security camera and waved. Hey, Commander, cancelled the lockdown. We're good here. But you might want to send a medical team. My new friend here needs treatment for some old wounds. Leo finally allowed himself a nervous laugh. So, what do we do now? Isabella scratched under the Reaver's jaw, earning another contented rumble. Now, we show everyone that the most feared beast alive just needed someone to treat it with kindness instead of weapons. The Void Reaver closed its eyes, completely relaxed for perhaps the first time in its long, violent life. And on orbital station Kepler 7, the aliens learned an important lesson about humanity. Sometimes the most dangerous thing in the galaxy wasn't what you feared most. It was realizing that humans would casually befriend it.